Hello, YouTube. It's me again. Oh, this coffee smells delicious. I just made it. It's so fresh. I am just welcome to my motel. I'm here. This is where I'm gonna be here for 5 days. So that's nice. Maybe should I stay for longer? It's a nice place though. Very like low key. I'm right in the behind of the building. The parking here is enormous too. I didn't think that this place was so massive. There's probably so many vacant rooms in this. This is the cheapest little Falls Church motel you can find anywhere around here. I got to be here because I like to bike around this area the most frequently. So then this morning, obviously, I got a shave and haircut, but it costed me so much money because I wanted to give a very big tip for this $20 tip for the $40 haircut, so it's $65. Just in case I go back there because it's a nice little spot. I really love the tools she was using. She had a little shavers, but they had a little hose hanging down, and it was attached to a vacuum and sucked all the whisker, all the dust, everything. And so it doesn't make a mess. You don't get it in your eyeball or anything like that. You don't get it in your nostril. It's very simple to get a shave in that way. I don't really drink coffee until it's just the right temperature. This is cool because it's like this little mug. I got it from the hospital. You always have to spill a drop of coffee every time. You can't always go without wasting any. But like, oh, this tastes pretty good. I didn't water it down any. It's the full potency. It's the regular strength. Is coffee good for your skin, like moisturizing? Like, would it help to keep me more supple? Because I just spilled some on my chest. Maybe it'll help me grow a little more thick, coarse hair. Like, what would caffeine do to your integumentary physiology? Oh, it's like a lotion almost. Now I'm all supple. Look like I got like it's firm. Oh yeah, like that's pretty cool. I'll go to the gym later today. Probably I went yesterday, and then I biked around a whole lot. I went to like 3 different neighborhoods. Just brought my bike out to go in a big loop to check out the place, go exploring. It's adventure time with Boy Standy. If you want, you can come in a bike race. Everybody challenges me to bike race all the time. Why is that? I don't know what's up with that. Is it really that much of a... What would be so motivating? If you're biking behind me, why would you want to go and pass me? Because I could go faster. I don't care if you have a gas engine, moped, anything. On those bike trails, like I go pretty good pace. It's hard to keep up with me, man. I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for. I'm the king of the place. I own all this. This is my homeland. This is where I come from, man. I know these roads like the palm of my hand. That's how long I've been biking out here, though. There's no reason for me to go to Richmond or Fredericksburg. I'm gonna stay right here. This is the area that I'm familiar with. My biggest fear is going to a new place and being lost. which was what I spent the whole entire month doing, pretty much, having to pull out Google Maps every second just to know where I'm at. That's all I had no other way to know. What was I supposed to study the map before heading out on a road trip? It used to be like, they had GoDaddy, what was it called? They had another type of maps you printed out and everything. What was it though? Y'all remember that? We used to, before cell phones, we used to print things out on a sheet of paper. I don't remember exactly. It was probably for free. You just get a sheet of, you just print it out anytime you need to know the way. You gotta know the way. So what would you used to have to go to a library, probably, if you were like out on a road trip, getting directions, or where else would you be able to print it? Maybe, an office building? Like what other places have a printer? Oh, the UPS store. Nah, that's not reliable enough. The post office. Or no, that wouldn't work at all. Oh man, maybe you could be best friends with the owner of the gym that you go to and head into his office and ask him something like it. It's still piping hot. I have to let steam off. If I can see steam coming up, it's gonna burn me. And then what that means is the steam's like 210 degrees, and then the liquid beneath is 211, or close to it. This didn't cool off very much at all. It's in like a aluminum. It's pretty cool because like if I blow on it, the heat conducts through this thing. I got this from the hospital. They gave it to me as like a gift. They donated like something, or I don't even know. Yeah. Well, those doctors all told me that I'd have to be on aspirin for the rest of my life. Like, what were they even talking about? Because caffeine's a diuretic. Alright? My arteries aren't exactly dilated all the time. Sometimes they get a little bit more regulate the muscle wall. Does it have something to do with GABA receptors or serotonin? Or is it what is that vasoconstriction? There's some kind of a something that goes ahead and it starts the process. Forgot what it's called. Beta something, or cortisol. It's a hormone, right? Well, caffeine might potentially elevate the levels of those, but this is just one cup of coffee. It's not like the end of the world, or I'm not committing a sin. Coffee, like what's so bad about it's just coffee. Doesn't everybody drink coffee? Well, if they don't, they sure drink some tea, or they have Coca-Cola as caffeine in it. What else? You get it from a Red Bull, or what else would you get it from? It's getting there. It didn't burn me at all just now. It's just, I have to take a small sip at a time. like I said right before recording, I just finished the process. It's in a nice and slow brew. I like to take my time. It's like a spiritual, a little bit of a ritual almost. You take the coffee, whatever coffee maker you've got, and set it to the lowest setting. Make sure that it's steamed and fizzles up really, really long, going up through those coffee grounds to get a more efficient extraction of the caffeine. And that's the whole point. And you don't want to burn your cup of coffee either. It might taste all, it could affect the flavor. You don't want to, especially with the darker roasts, you got to be careful about burning those. They're already almost burnt anyway. This coffee ain't burnt whatsoever. It's really like slow, low and slow. I made sure that it took 5 minutes to fizzle up and finish steaming out. Like it took even longer than that, of course, to get the water boiling hot. Just a little bit longer. What if you use distilled water? Would it make a better cup of coffee? Like, would it extract more caffeine from the coffee? I don't even know. I've thought about other things, like, what if you made coffee using, what else could you have to do it with? Ethanol, I guess, is the only other thing. That would be like really flammable though. You'd have to do it in a special way. Definitely no percolation with that. You gotta have something like glassware. what you need, like a big old fractional distillation, just like in a chemistry lab when you're working with solvents. And get a beaker and a Bunsen burner, or no, you don't want that. That's a horrible idea. What you need is a hot plate, and a ceramic underneath to heat up the coffee, to brew the coffee in like a laboratory setting. Then you can get that ethanol. What you do to process it? Supercritical CO2. You filter it first through. They get, it's a special, it's a type of filters they use. Vacuum filtration. You just suck it right through a piece of cotton, and it gets all the impurities all up out of there. Then you can crystallize the caffeine after you do supercritical CO2 extraction. This requires like really cold temps and special glassware or special pressure chambers, or you need a hermetically sealed canister where like you can pump it full of tons of pressure and get that carbon dioxide from a gas to a liquid phase. That must be so cold too. You need liquid nitrogen, don't you? What else would you have to have? That would be like theoretically the most efficient caffeine extraction. But I just would rather make a cup of coffee, honestly. Did you hear that? I got this issue in my sternum, my rib cage, something in here where it just makes a loud click when I lean. At first I feel it's tight, like it feels tight, and then I have to release the pressure. I don't know if you know, but maybe, do I have a bird chest? Some people told me that I have Marfan syndrome. Are they lying? There's something about the coffee that's just so energizing. It electrifies your whole thing. You feel like afterward going on a jog or heading on a swim, or in my case, for example, going on a bicycle race, like that, just down the road, pedaling on the bicycle. It's a good time. I'm so happy that this part of this motel does not even smell like a cigarette. I do not smell this nowhere. And usually you go into places, the whole place just stinks of cigarettes, but like this place is clean. That's something that I could appreciate. And I don't want to be smelling all that nasty residue, like third-hand smoke. That's what I'm talking about. And the shower curtain is also really clean looking here. I prefer to have a sliding glass door, but at least there's no mildew anywhere in the bathroom. I don't see anything like that. It's very spick and span. They do a good job with the housekeeping. I just decided that this morning I had to go bike down to the barbershop to get a haircut while the lady could come in here and do her thing. And then I come back and it's more or less the same. I didn't make a mess at all in here. It's really clean since I got here. I mean, like, I'm not a very messy guy, although I produce a pile of trash when I live in my Jeep, when I live out of my car. That's just a part of the experience. And so, like, now that I'm here, I'm able to be more sustainable. I don't even produce as much garbage at all. I have hardly any packaging or containers, or I just have a couple of cans of tuna that I'm about to open up later for lunch. And I've got cans of garbanzo beans, or no, I got what I got are the navy beans. I'm gonna have those. Cans can be recycled, so that doesn't count. Therefore, the only trash I produced was biodegradable here. And that's the coffee grounds. After the spent coffee, after you finish making coffee, you have some material left over. You just chuck it in the garbage. Just dispose of that. Some people say that you can just mix the coffee ground into your garden and stir it up in the soil and get it enriched with more nitrogen somehow. Or does it act as a pH buffer for the soil moisture? What would it do? It would be better for the drainage, obviously, and get the roots to grow with more surface area, and they spread out in the dirt. It's all loose instead of hard and compressed, and then you get larger, bigger plants growing. They're healthier plants. The plants are able to obtain more moisture from the soil. They spread the roots out, and then you get a big old vegetable garden. That's how you gotta do that. This is the perfect drinking temperature, actually. I still can see some steam coming up. And just a little tiny bit. It's flavorful. You know what? I lied. I already made a cup of coffee this morning before I headed to the barbershop. I had to stay awake somehow because the haircut lady that's hypnotic. I felt like sleepy while sitting in her chair. And she ought to just bring out her pendulum, just let me doze off for a while she cuts my whiskers. And like, I almost fell asleep. I had to keep my eyes open somehow, so I was like like this in the chair. I rolled my eyes in the back of my skull like a zombie. And then she was just removing all the filth off. I asked for number 3 on the top. I hope it's short enough for the hot weather coming up here. It was just a very, very expensive haircut, I gotta say. Oh yes. Coffee makes me pretty happy, man. I don't know about you, but like this is supposed to. It's natural, right? Like, they ought to just put the coffee, mix it right into the tap water. The municipal city water. Instead of mixing all that chloramine, chlorine, all that fluoride in the water, they could have coffee coming out of the faucet. Or they just have to have a separate system right next to the water. Instead, they just have coffee running right through. Hot, piping hot. Just anytime you need some, you just fill it right next to your tap water. The faucet in your bathroom might even have coffee coming out of it one day. You might even shower in this coffee. You might even, I'm not joking, it could happen. In your lifetime, you may see these things start to take place. They may soon become, oh yeah. What's up with this sternum thing though? I've noticed it for at least a couple months. See, one time when I used to work at the PetSmart, at the pet store, I was stocking some shelves up near where they had the kitty litter. They made me go up that ladder, stick it up on the top thing, and I twisted. No, actually, what it was cat furniture that was on top of the shelf of cat litter. That's what I had to put up there. I brought it up with me. It was just me up there. No one was helping. So then I twisted a certain way to stick it up on the shelf, the very, very top of the PetSmart, and then I'm not saying it's a workman's comp injury or anything like that. I'm just saying I screwed up my rib for about a week. It was really, really sore. So something got torn up in there. It quickly healed, obviously, but it hurt while it was separated. How do you like my? Can you see my piping hot? This is the last of it. It's got me. Oh yeah. I tell you what, I'm awake right now. Sitting here just talking to you, I'm focused. I'm really like tuned into what you guys, the audience, and everything. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It was just, I felt it was coming up, and then by the time it came up to here, it was too late, and I had to just release the pressure. Oh, my fault. Oh.